Good afternoon, everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to do power spectral density of line codes, as we discussed about line codes in the previous chapter. So basically, the output distortion of a communication channel depends on power spectral density of a input signal. And following steps are involved to calculate PSD of line coded signal. First one is to find the Fourier transform of line coded signal. And Fourier transform has been done by us extensively in signal processing 2. Second, we have to find the autocorrelation of the line coded signal. And third one is calculate power spectral density using there's a person who discovered this relation, Wiener Khinchiney relation, which is basically PF means power spectral density at a particular frequency is equals to 1 divided by TB, and where TB is your bit duration, mod of XF square. XF is your basically Fourier transform of signal XT, and summation from n equals to minus infinite to infinite RA n, and RA is your autocorrelation function, e raised to the power minus j2 pi f n TB. Now, if you are doing it for a unipolar NRZ, means non-returning to 0, then if the signal is defined from 0 to TB and amplitude 1, we can change this signal written in this form also. It's not going to change any of the property of the signal. The reason we are doing it is that it's easy to find the integration when you are doing it with the help of signal in this form, minus TB divided by 2 to plus TB by 2. So 1 is denoted as a plus A volts and 0 is denoted as 0. So why we are denoting 1 as plus A? Because the potential can be 2 volts or 5 volts, depending upon the kind of communication system you are using. So now if we apply Fourier transform on this signal, this is basically a rectangular signal which we have done in signal processing 2. From minus infinite to infinite xt e raised to the power minus j2 pi ft dt, and we integrate it within this limit. The amplitude here is 1, so it will be minus tv by 2 to tv by 2, 1 into e raised to the power minus j2 pi ft dt. When you will integrate it, it will be like this. Put the upper limit and lower limit. Then it will be of this form. Take this minus sign here, and then signal will change to this form. Cancel whatever is applicable. Then it's basically this, which is if you use the de Moivre's theorem, e raised to the power j theta minus e raised to the power minus j theta divided by 2j is equals to sine theta. So it's sine pi f tb, where this is your theta here, pi f tb divided by pi f. And if I multiply it by tb, then we can write it in this form. And if you remember, it will be a sinc function. So tb sinc f tb. Now, for a unipolar NRZ, the amplitude of the pulse is given by AL equals to A for 1 volt and 0 for 0 volt. So what we are doing is basically we are changing the signal from bit to a signal level or mapping. In a very large, if you have a very large binary sequence, you will see that if you are sending an information from one place to another, the number of 0 bits appearing are almost equals to the number of bits appearing, number of 1 bits appearing. So we can say that in a very large binary sequence, zeros and ones occurs with equal probability. So we can say that probability of AL equals to A is equals to probability of AL equals to 0 is equals to half, because they have equiprobable events. Now, if you need to find the autocorrelation, so autocorrelation for any function is basically we use this as an expected value. So what are the possible levels which we are having, the amplitude levels? So we have levels AL and AL minus N. So N basically going to define what's the level number. So maybe it's n equals to 0, n equals to 1, n equals to 2, and so on up to n equals to L. So if we substitute n equals to L, we can say that E expectation of E is AL and AL. So we can say it's basically E AL square. So we can say that we have to find the expectation of AL square. This expectation is might have been told to you in your mathematics course. If not, then please let me know. I will let you know how to find the autocorrelation function also, and I'll provide you the formula and details of it also. So we have a binary data. So if it's 0 and 1 only, then AL will be 0. If you have a 0, and when AL is equals to A, then it will be A. So AL square will be 0 if you have a 0 AL value, and it will be A square if you have AL equals to A. Or we know that both of them are equiprobable events. So we can say probability of AL is half. Now for continuous function, we calculate expectation using this formula, integration x square fx dx, where fx is your probability density function. For discrete function, we calculate expectation by using summation x square p capital X equals to x, where probability mass function, we call it as probability mass function here. So you might have done this in your mathematics also. So E expected value of AL square will be A square P AL equals to A plus 0 P AL equals to 0. Means both these conditions are used here. Now when AL equals to A, the probability is half. When AL equals to 0, the probability is half again. But this is 0 because your AL is equals to 0. AL square is equals to 0. So we can say the expectation will be A square divided by 2, or we can say that autocorrelation at n equals to 0 will be A square divided by 2. Now the condition when AN is not equals to 0. So if we are using 2-bit binary data, then we have 4 levels available with us: 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. So we can say it the value of AL as on this side and AL minus N on this side. We have to use this 2 bits we are using. Then we have 0A, 0, 0A, A0, AA. So AL into AL minus 1 means we multiply them will be, because we have to multiply these two here. Then it will be 0, 0, 0, and the last one is A square. Now we have four binary data possibility. So if we consider them equal probable, if we consider them to be having the probability which is equal, then we can say the probability of appearance of 0, 0 is 1 by 4, because we have 4 events, and favorable event is 1 for this one, 1 for this one, 1 for this one, 1 for this one. So the favorable events are 1 and total events are 4. So the probability is 1 divided by 4. Okay. Now RA n for n not equals to then 0 will be 0 into 1 by 4 plus 0 into 1 by 4 plus 0 into 1 by 4 plus A square into 1 by 4. So we can say RAN equals to A square divided by 4. So we can say for RAN is equals to A square by 2 for n equals to 0, and A square by 4 for n not equals to 0. So when we'll put this value in your this formula up here, put all the values of XF, RAN. So the function will then become this form: TB sync FTB square and summation n equals to minus infinite to infinite A square by 4 when n not equals to 0, and it is a square by 2 when n equals to 0. When you will put n equals to 0, so the multiplying factor here will be 1 only, e raised to the power 0. So we have this a square divided by 2 into tb, because it will be tb square, it will cancel this tb. Sinc square ftb plus a square tb by 4, sinc square ftb, again with the help of this, we have this, we are opening this bracket. So this one is here, this side, and this part is on this side. So if you take sinc square ftb outside, because this summation is variable of n, and the only function which is variable of n is this e raised to the power term. Then if we further rationalize it, saying from minus infinite to infinite, e raised to the power minus j 2 pi f n tb minus 1. What we are doing is that we are introducing something and we are including n equals to 0 here. So when you will put n equals to 0, you will see that there's a minus here. So we included n equals to 0 here. So basically we are adding 1 to this complete equation. So when we are adding 1 to it, we need to subtract it also. So then we can say the function will become this. And if we further go and do the Pujan's formula for it, Pujan's equation, then we can replace this function with the help of delta function. So it will be 1 divided by tb and this thing you need to remember here. So you will put this value there, then the function will be of this form. And so this is your final equation. And if you want to plot it, it will be of this. Sinc square has a maximum amplitude at the f equals to 0. If you remember that sine x divided by x for limit x tends to 0 is equals to 1. And then on both sides, the function amplitude keeps on decreasing y. If you see here, so when you will increase the value of f, the maximum value which sine function can attain is -1 or +1. But when you will increase the value of f, this function will increase, so it's in denominator. The complete function will decrease on both sides, like this. When you will plot this delta function, then it will be f minus mtb defined at this point. And then if we multiply these two terms, then we will left with delta f only. You need to do this calculation yourself. If you still feel that you need any clarification how it has been done, then I'll explain. Okay, thank you.